near Lake Tana, where they've mapped out, probably in just a couple of days, going around the small town really with a GPS, map out all these different facilities, symbolize them according to whether it's government, private sector, or I think the green ones are NGO hospitals or health facilities. And now, it's like having a phone book, but like a map phone book of facilities which they can use to then again send out their people, contact the owners, they know who's the contact person there, their phone number, precise address, can get directions, and so on. So that's another typical, very simple Google map that just shows the location of places. Others are slightly more advanced, maybe show something more interesting, and this is one way of looking at the Swaziland condom landscape. You can really have it like a 3D view, and also the image is a bit blurred, but it's again because it's a screenshot. But this shows data from a census of all condom outlets, all potential condom outlets throughout the country, where red ones are those that currently don't sell condoms, and green ones are those where condoms are available. You could click on one, or here this is a clinic that shows, well, we have both male and female condoms in that specific clinic in the valley between the two main cities of Swaziland. Obviously, you can choose what goes into these boxes, and that's one of the things that we'll learn during the technical session after this, is how to populate this. We'll see that you can put lots and lots of things in there, even pictures or links and other things. It's really up to the user to define what goes in there. And basically all you need to do a map like this is to have an Excel file with coordinates, name of place, and then these specific attributes that you want to be mapping out. So it's really simple and a user-friendly tool also to navigate. Those of you who know Google Earth, you know how you don't need to go through any training, don't need any manuals. It's very easy to just get around with it. Now, those were just a few preliminary examples, I guess, and now I'd like to hopefully show how these maps can be useful to us. First of all, in terms of project planning and targeting your interventions. For example, you'd want to know where do your target groups live or work or entertain, where the hotspots, if it's high-risk groups, for example, in this case, there are hotels and guest houses where MSM and transgender are known to be present in Vientiane, in Laos. And again, just by having a map, it shows that there are certain concentrations, certain hot zones, which may be more important for your interventions. And rather than just blindly going out there and sending out people, well, find some hotels, find some guest houses, is you can probably section your intervention area into different portions, so prioritize. You know, this seems to be much more dense than this part, but you don't want to also leave out the outliers. You want to make sure that you reach every single of these places. Though, as you know very well, given often limited resources, you want to make sure that you reach places where your impact is potentially highest first, right? Now, this becomes even more interesting if you can combine that with actual product or service availability. Once you've put in place a certain intervention, you want to make sure that that matches the distribution of your target groups. And in this case, PSI is part of a network that offers STI screening and HIV counseling and testing services in Laos, in Vientiane specifically. So these are those drops, and there are different types. One is government hospitals, then there's a whole network of private doctors, which are the yellow ones. And then both PSI and FHI have drop-in clinics which offer full counseling and testing services. So again, you want to make sure that you reach those places where the concentration of your target group is more important. And just by looking at the maps, just by having a visual overview, you'd be able to see, well, to detect a whole neighborhood here in the center of town with lots of these guest houses and motels and potentially a lot of your target groups, but at the moment, not even any screening services. There's part of the whole referral system where the yellow dots are supposed to refer to people who are screened and should get tested, should be able to go to one of the pink ones, basically. If PSI or another organization had money to set up a new drop-in center,